Good evening, y'all. Welcome to Quatro Cinco News. I'm Bobby H. Our top stories for the week. The total number of HEX stakers surged over the weekend with over 700 addresses committing to stakes on the smart contract. With gas fees averaging 45 GWEI, many took the opportunity to secure large positions. In particular, Friday night was full of fireworks as we saw 248 addresses commit max length stakes. This is the largest influx of stakes in a single day since day 683, up 4x from the daily average. Staker Up showed significant growth in the crab and shell leagues, adding over 600 members to their ranks on the weekend. A quick glance back to 6 months ago shows just how quickly these leagues are evolving. We look forward to Staker Up V2 for some new denominations. There is speculation as to the exact cause of this influx. However, some suggest that it could be related to the launch of the promising new Layer 2 HEX protocol, Hedron. Hedron claims to be a Layer 2 scaling option for HEX, as it allows users to now wrap their stakes and theoretically trade, sell, or create NFTs from them. Hedron founder Alex argues that the tradable nature incentivizes more Quatro Cincos given their added optionality.
If people want Hedron and they don't want to buy it, they're going to have to stake HEX. You have to buy HEX and stake it. And, in my opinion, that kind of throws some really good tokenomics at HEX, where the sell pressure is reduced from emergency end stakes and dumping, and there's an additional buy pressure from people who want to make these stakes to do things with Hedron.
Others in the community argue that this is against the nature of the protocol, as it violates the notion of the truth engine of HEX, the emergency end stake functions.
I think in the case of HEX, if you are forking the number of T-shares that you have, like is proposed or happening with Hedron, then you are violating the longer pays better value proposition of HEX.
Regardless, Hedron is live, and we saw the emergence of HEX NFTs on popular platforms like OpenSea, and the sudden influx of Quatro Cinco stakes has been termed the Hedron effect. We have still yet to know whether these will have significant demand in the market, but their existence is something new for the HEX ecosystem. And you heard it here first, Hexicans. The first Hedron stake has just been sold on OpenSea for $1,500. Of course, with any software, there are risks, so please do your own research. Our next story. It appears the GWEI or an entity related to them couldn't pass up the cheap HEX over the weekend. Late Friday afternoon, he sent 1,600 ETH to a new address that would then go on to market, buy $500K worth of HEX. This contributed to the HEX price rebounding from a local low of 11 cents back to the 15 cents range we're in now. While some technical analysts continue to rack their brain for the bottom, many couldn't pass up the opportunity. This weekend, HEX had the largest volume trading on Uniswap outside of Bitcoin, ETH, and the stables. For anyone who bought the dip, congratulations on the discount shopping. And PulseX sacrifice phase officially closed Friday, having raised over $1.4 billion to support freedom of movement. The sacrifice had over 136,000 contributors, about 3 times as many as the Pulsechain sacrifice held 6 months prior. Comparing the two sacrifices sets, Pulsechain had slightly over 41,000 participants and raised over $670 million. Most speculate the discrepancy in participants is due to the greater media attention around the Richard Hart ecosystem now compared to back in July. For example, Richard Hart's follower count has grown significantly, up 130% in the past 6 months, as are the number of HEX stakers, Twitter accounts, and YouTube personalities. However, the unique tokenomics of PulseX are impossible to ignore as another reasonable cause. Richard released the first teasers for the PulseX decks Thursday, though he prefaced it by adding that he has yet to review the specifics. The screenshots show the prospect of single-sided staking, liquidity farming, and voting pools, and even hints at some of the possible APYs. Obviously, these are all demo numbers, so we can't take them as gospel of Pope, but what is really exciting is the suggestions of some possible game theory for the incentive token. While we still await the official announcement of its name, the screenshots hint it may be known as PulseX. Obviously, again, we have no expectations from the work of others, so we just wait to see. Our final story, Richard Hart versus Peter Schiff. American stockbroker and radio personality Peter Schiff joined Richard Hart in one of the most riveting conversations across asset classes this year. Schiff, a longtime Bitcoin bear and gold bug, doubled down on his fondness for precious metals and continued to dismiss crypto.
If my choices were all gold or all Bitcoin, I would own all gold. If it was all gold or all HEX, I would certainly own all gold. I would own no HEX. I would own no Bitcoin.
These arguments came as nothing new to Hart, who's heard it all before. reiterating the opportunity only crypto can afford.
First of all, Peter describes a problem that people do have in cryptocurrency, where they sell on a 1x or a 2x or a 3x and think that they're smart, and then it goes up 69 million x. So you could have bought HEX on January 5th of 2019 and sold it when it doubled, 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 when it doubled again, when it doubled, when it doubled, when it doubled, when it doubled, or when it doubled. It doubled 13 times in 2 years. And so you could have hopped off the magic carpet ride at any time that you wanted with insanely mad gains, and you could have been one of those red candles everybody hates so much.
Many familiar with Richard pointed out this uniquely tame and poised demeanor in this debate, often playing the more passive role while Peter talked over the top and frequently cut him off. Maybe it was the arguments or maybe just the audio, but a poll run after the show had Hart as the clear winner by a comprehensive margin. And in the end, even Peter seemed to acknowledge the result. All in all, it was a great opportunity for Hart to speak to a new audience, and hopefully this isn't the last of its kind. That's all for Quatro Cinco News. I'm Bobby H. Stake long and stake safe. Good night.